Welcome to your 40-day practice, week 3, equanimity. As a reminder of what Barron says, equanimity is the art of meeting life as it meets you, calmly, without drama or fuss. So let's begin in child's pose. Arriving here, feeling your palms against the earth, maybe pushing the tops of the feet against the earth. Very gently begin to lift your hips, coming to downward facing dog. Taking some time to pedal the feet, connect to the self, connect to yourself, your breath, right here as you are, meeting your practice where you are. Go ahead, come up onto your tippy toes, gently walk towards the front of your mat, coming to ragdoll pose. Belly pulls in. Torso nice and long. If you'd like to grab opposite hand to opposite elbow, go ahead. Maybe there's even a little gentle sway side to side. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Deep breath in. Complete breath out. Very gently let go of your bind. Toe heel your feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose, rise up, let the energy reach up. And as you exhale, forward fold. Breathe into halfway lift. Exhale, place your hands to the mat, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale out to high push-up, low push-up, or the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog or mini cobra. Start where you need to be. And make your way to downward facing dog. Set your gaze. Set your vision right here, breathing in, breathing out. Not needing to be anywhere but where you are. Come to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Mountain pose, rise up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Downward facing dog, high push-up, low push-up, knees can be down. Upward facing dog or cobra, use your breath. Downward facing dog. Set the gaze. Set the breath. Nowhere else to be but right here. Take a deep breath in. Step or jump, front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Stay here and breathe. One of the first places in your practice to challenge, to either respond to the body at where it's at with the breath or to react. Stay here and respond. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. High push-up, low push-up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Then right away, step your right foot forward and on your inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to the mat, high push-up, low push-up. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, warrior one. So back heel comes down. Inhale lifts you up. Exhale, hands to the mat. High push-up, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And we're here for 5 breaths. So just breathe in and breathe out. Instead of rushing the mind forward, be right here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale up onto your toes, step or jump, front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, 1 breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low push-up. Maybe you move from high to low. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. Don't think, just move, breathe. Hands to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Hands to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring the toes to touch. Inhale out to high push-up. Press into the right palm. Open up to a side plank. Heels are over to the right. Chest opens to the left. Bottom knee can come down. Go ahead, reach your fingers towards the front of your space. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, high push-up. Right away, come to downward facing dog, then toes touch. High push-up. This time, wade into the left palm. Open up to a side plank facing the opposite side. Maybe you play here. Those fingers reach towards the front of the space. Maybe you lift a leg. Always options. Keep you fully here. High push-up. Downward facing dog. Go ahead, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Step it forward, crescent lunge. So all 10 toes face the front of your space. Sink the hips a little deeper. Belly pulls in. Go ahead, look up. Hands to heart center. Hinge forward, twist. As you twist, push the palms together. See if you can open up that top shoulder a little bit more. And if you'd like, place one hand on the earth or a block. Top hand reaches up to the ceiling. Maybe the gaze shifts towards the lifted thumb. If you'd like to take a bind, take that top hand to the lower back. Hands to the mat. Downward facing dog. High push-up. Low push-up. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg. Step it forward, crescent lunge. Once again, all 10 toes. See if you can lift that back heel just a little bit more. Let those hips be heavy. Hands to heart center, hinge forward. Go ahead and twist. Know that you always have the option to lower the back knee. Remove that element of balance if you'd like. You can place one hand to the earth, one hand up to the ceiling. If you'd like to take that bind, take that top hand to the lower back. Stay here, breathe in. Breathe out, reach that hand up, hands to the mat, high push-up. Low push-up or the earth. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take rest when it's offered. To slow the body. Slow reaction. Now step or jump to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. Go ahead, bring your hands to heart center. Sink your hips a little bit deeper and then twist over to the right. And as you do, push the palms together so you can open the chest, take that top shoulder back. Once again, if you'd like to open your arms, you can open your arms. See if you can find the bottom hand connecting to the earth or to a block. Maybe the gaze is forward or it's up at the lifted fingertips. Forward fold. Take that rest and know that even in rest, it's not always the most comfortable place to be. So take your 2-piece fingers, wrapping them around your big toes. Relax the jaw, relax the neck. Let there be some length. And just breathe in. Breathe out. Go ahead, let go of that bind. Toe heel your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. We twisted one way, we'll twist the other. So first find that chair, belly pulls in, sink the weight back towards your heels, then hands to heart center. Hinge forward, twist the opposite side. If you feel like the knees are, one is coming forward, maybe you pull that left hip back ever so slightly. Taking the variation that you'd like, that takes you to your edge. Now forward fold. Go ahead, separate those feet again, hip width apart. This time take the whole palm of the hand underneath the soles of the feet. Find a little halfway lift so you lengthen the spine and then soften. Even when you soften to lengthen the spine, see if you can keep that belly lock in nice and tight. Maybe even softening the knees, not locking the knees out. Go ahead, release the bind, toe heel the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. Now this time from chair pose, we're going to come into eagle. So take the right leg over and right arm under. Keeping the elbows lifted. Now, if this bind of the arms doesn't feel good, you can come to I Dream of Genie arms. Still right arm under, left arm over. Elbows stay lifted, energy stay lifted while the hips sink. Go ahead, release, simply stand. Ha. Both feet on the ground. Inhale, reach up. Chair pose. This time left leg over, left arm under. See if you can set that gaze. Set that vision. See what you're looking at to help you find the balance. And know within looking for balance, you find that equanimity, that ebb and flow, shifting away from reaction. Go ahead, release. Simply stand, breathe in. Breathe out. Now setting up for dancer's pose, go ahead, take your right elbow to your right hip. Bringing that right foot towards your seat, grab the outside of the foot. You can stay right here. If you'd like, lift the left fingers up towards the ceiling. Maybe you push the foot into the palm of the hand and begin to tilt forward. See if you can look past your thumb, past your fingertips. This is dancer's pose, so it's not stagnant. You might find that the body shifts, it moves side to side. Gently rise up, release. Other side. So this time, left elbow to the left hip, left heel towards your seat, grab the inside of the foot. You can be right here. Or right fingers reach up to the ceiling. You gently begin to shift forward. As you shift forward, let the heart open up. And as the heart opens up, the fingers reach forward, the foot lifts up and back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, rise up first, then let go of that bind. Nice. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tree pose. So tree pose, you're shifting weight into your right foot and you can come to a kickstand, a calf. Maybe you grab that foot and you bring it to the inner thigh. And whenever you put that foot, I want you to feel it pushing up against the standing leg and the standing leg pushing back. If you'd like, you can grow your tree, interlacing your fingers, pushing down and then reaching up. Maybe you open up, maybe you shift your gaze up to the ceiling. All of these options to expand, to grow a little bit more. Hands back to heart center. Lower the foot. Yeah, maybe there's some wiggles, a little dance, and inhale, reach up. Hands to heart center. Shift weight into the left foot, maybe kickstand, calf, maybe to the inner thigh, tree on this side. If you'd like, maybe you interlace those fingers, push down so you can feel yourself rooting down and then reach up, find stretch, find length. And that growth may just be as simple as staying exactly as you are and breathing in,
Out of the camera.
breathing out. Maybe you find a bit of a back bend. Shift the gaze up to the ceiling. Wobbles are okay. That's your body finding itself in space. Hands back to heart center. Lower the foot. Inhale, reach up.
Inhale, mountain pose.
Exhale, forward fold.
Exhale, forward.
Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the mat, high push up.
Exhale,
Low push up.
high to low.
Breathe in, upward facing dog.
Upward facing
Exhale, downward facing dog.
downward facing dog.
Inhale out to high push up.
Right foot forward to warrior one.
Step that right foot forward, warrior one, then open up to warrior two.
Straighten your front leg.
Now from here, go ahead and reach towards the front of your space. Bottom hand comes down. Top hand reaches up. Triangle pose. As you're here, see if you can keep yourself from locking out any limbs. Don't lock out the knees. See if you can find a lift. Even though after those balance, it feels so good to ground. See if you can find length and lift. Rise all the way up, warrior two.
Go ahead, straighten that front leg. Take that back foot.
Go ahead and step the back foot forward halfway up the mat. Square your hips towards the front of your space. Find a little length in the spine. And exhale, forward fold. Coming into your pyramid pose. Hands can come down to the earth. Maybe even find a little bit of a halfway lift to lengthen the spine one more time. And then let the chin come towards the chest. Nose towards the knee. Stay here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands onto your hips. Rise all the way up. Inhale. Step forward to the front of the mat. Mountain pose. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands to the mat. Step back. High push up. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Now, left foot forward, warrior two. So opening up to that warrior two, then go ahead, once again, straighten that front leg. Reach, reach, reach till you can't reach anymore and triangle on this side. Maybe that bottom hand is on a block so you can feel something connected to the earth. Maybe the gaze shifts up towards that lifted thumb, or maybe the gaze is straight ahead. Breathe in. Rise all the way up, warrior two. Go ahead, straighten that front leg once again, stepping that back foot forward, setting up for pyramid pose. Maybe that right leg comes a little bit wider. Hands can stay on the hips, or maybe find a bind, clasping the hands at the lower back. Chest continues to reach towards the front of the space until it can't anymore. If the bind is too much, go ahead, release the bind. Let the fingertips come down to the earth. The beautiful thing about your practice is it's yours. You take the options that you need to remove the need to react and instead listen to the self and respond. Now rise all the way up. Step the back foot forward. Inhale, reach up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the mat, step back. High push up. Lower all the way down. Slowly lowering, belly's the last thing to arrive. Ha. Don't get too comfortable with the earth here. Instead, go ahead, bring the fingers alongside the body, reaching them towards the back of the mat, palms face down. Bring the thighs a little bit closer, and as you're ready, on your inhale, lift the chest, lift the legs, half locust pose. You only have to lift as high as you need to go, where you can find your edge, and still breathe in. Still breathe out, lower all the way down. Setting yourself back up, bring those thighs a little bit closer so they're about hip width apart. Inhale, lift up. Don't forget to breathe.
Nobody can see the front of your face, so you make all the squishies that you want. 4.
One more breath in. Lower all the way down.
Go ahead, lower down.
Now we're going to set up for floor bow. As you set up for floor bow, I want you to bring the heels towards your seat. Grab the outside of your feet. This can be done one leg at a time. But on your next inhale, lift the legs, lift the chest, floor bow. As you're here, you may find that you shift a little more weight, letting the shins push towards the back of your space to open up the shoulders, open up the chest a little bit more. Maybe you just lift the toes. Lower all the way down. Go ahead, release the bind. Maybe there's a gentle wiggle of the hips.
Take a breath in.
Take a breath in. Now, heels towards the seat one more time. So if you did one side, this time you'll do the opposite side. Opposite arm comes out in front. On your next inhale, lift your chest, lift your feet, floor bow.
Maybe imagine the shins reaching towards the back of your mat.
Don't overcomplicate it with what you can do or what you think you need to do.
Breathe out. Don't worry.
Just listen.
Camel next. Come on,
Lower yourself all the way down. This time, bend the knees, windshield wiper the legs side to side. Go ahead, push the tops of the feet into the earth. Hands at the lowest rib. On your next inhale, upward facing dog or cobra.
Upward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Let it go.
Downward facing dog. Go ahead, bring your knees to the mat. Walk your hands back so you can stand on your knees. We're setting up for camel pose. So here in camel pose, you're going to take your hands to the lower back, fingers either up or down. Bring those elbows in towards each other and just lift the chest up. This could be enough. Maybe you continue to lift the chest, shift the gaze up towards the ceiling. Maybe the hands come back to the heels.
Let your gaze just stay straight up.
Come to that place where you can still breathe in. Still breathe out. Very gently, hands to the hips, rise up. Go ahead.
Downward facing dog.
Downward facing dog. Take a breath in.
Maybe pedal the feet just
And a breath out. Now inhale up onto your tippy toes.
your space. Walk your toes a little bit.
Walk a little closer, then step or jump through to lie down. As you come to lie down on your back, we're setting up for bridge and wheel. We're going to start with one bridge pose and then options after that to come to wheel. So go ahead, bring those heels underneath your knees. And when you're ready, lift the hips, bridge pose. See if you can bring the chest to the chin versus the chin towards the chest. If you'd like to take a bind, go ahead and take a bind, letting the knuckles reach towards the front of your mat. Stay here, breathe in. Exhale, slowly lower down. Take a breath in to reset. Let it go.
And breath out. You're going to set yourself
Deep
up.
breath in.
Wheel feels good. Set yourself up for wheel.
If you'd like to come to wheel, hands alongside your ears, fingers point towards the front of the space, and then lift your hips. Wheel pose. Now, if you chose, maybe wheel isn't where you want to be right now, and you just lift your hips.
If it feels comfortable, can you show the variation of your head on the earth?
If you're in wheel prep, not quite to a place where you can straighten the arms, you can always have your head down on the earth. Variations to continue to build strength. Slowly lower all the way down.
We have one more round, whatever you choose it to be, bridge or wheel.
We'll do it one more time. Last one, bridge or wheel, whatever it needs to be. Don't overthink it. Go. Wherever you are, you're breathing in. You're breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Wheel, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Lower yourself down. Bridge, lower yourself down. There you go. Let the hips just connect to the earth. Now, soles of the feet come together. Supta Baddha Konasana, also known as supine butterfly pose. Just to kind of come back to the space, reconnect to the breath. Maybe one hand is on your heart space, one hand is on your lower abdomen. Feel the breath come in all the way from the chest to the abdomen and go out from the abdomen to the chest. Now bring the knees back in towards each other. Hug the knees in towards the
Dead bones going
chest.
on here too. Dead
From here, we're going to set
bones.
up for happy laughing baby. So maybe the knees come alongside the rib cage. Maybe you rock a little side to side. See if you can lengthen the tailbone just a little bit more.
All right,
Now,
so from
let the
here, we're
soles
gonna
of the
bring
feet
the
come
soles
back
of
to
the
the
feet
earth.
back to the earth.
Let your hands come
We're gonna
behind your
start
head.
with one sole of the foot on the earth and the other foot.
And then you're going to lift your left leg up
Like
towards the ceiling. You're going to
like this.
extend your right leg towards the front of the mat. So heel off of the earth. Now, if you'd like, you can start with one leg on the ground, one foot on the ground,
Heavy
left leg
chest.
lifted
You're gonna
up.
focus on lifting it
Feet
up.
are active. Wherever you are, feet are active. Go ahead and lift the chest up. Take a
It's
deep
gonna
breath
pop.
in.
And you're gonna lift
And
your
as you
chest
exhale,
over the
switch feet.
knee.
Left foot will come down and hover.
Lift the chest.
And you'll switch with the right
Knee.
going up.
5 on each side. Lower down.
Now you'll see here Janelle is
Chest
doing
towards the knee.
a variation, a modified variation where she's just lifting the chest. Left leg is still reaching up towards the ceiling. And then she's going to switch.
5. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. That foot comes
You're doing
down.
both
Other foot
legs
goes
at both
up.
times.
Now go ahead and
Right
do the
heel is
opposite.
up towards the
So
ceiling. Left
so
heel
this
towards the
time
front
you
of the
have the
mat.
left
As
leg
you lift,
reach
you
towards the front of
switch.
the mat, and then you switch. Switch.
Scissor legs.
Other foot comes down. Yeah. Switch.
Lots of options.
Switch.
Maybe you start with doing both and then you decide it's just one at a time.
Okay.
Now go ahead, let the
Go
soles of the
down.
feet come to the earth. Let the heels extend towards the front of your space.
Legs straight up into the air. Arms
Then
length apart.
soles of the feet to the earth, hands tucked underneath to protect the lower back, legs straight up into the air.
Deep breath in.
You're going to lower 30 degrees. Lower to 60.
Lower 30 degrees.
Lower to hover so you're at 90 degrees. Go ahead, lift the chest, look at your toes.
Before we lose everybody in this practice, take
Still breathing.
look at your toes, wiggle your
Now
toes.
lift the legs
Breath
straight
in.
up into the air.
Full breath out. Inhale.
Lower to
Lift your
30.
legs straight up into the air. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Now you're going to be doing those
Take a deep
abdominal
breath in.
twists. So once you take the
Let
soles
the
of
breath
feet
go.
back to the earth, hands behind the head. You're going to hug your right
You're going to
knee
go
into
ahead
the
now, and
chest.
we're going to do
Left
scissors
extended. Yep.
across the body.
And then
So hugging the right knee in towards the
so another
chest,
variation,
opposite
hugging
elbow
the
comes
feet on the
across.
side.
Right knee,
Yep, to
left
angle back and
elbow,
extend the leg.
left knee, right elbow. Variations to keep one foot on the ground, or you extend the opposite leg. Side crunches, side to side. Take one more chance.
Hug the knees,
And now
lower the
feet
feet.
back to the earth. Take a deep breath in.
Baddha-Konasana. So this is where he puts
Let the
his hands
soles of the
in
feet
a woman
connect.
that other
Supta Baddha Konasana, recline, butterfly pose. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Deep breath in. Full breath out. And you'll notice after the effort, there's a little bit of faster breath. Just go with it. Maybe you let the exhale lengthen just a little bit more. Bringing the knees back in towards each other. Take a deep breath in.
Go ahead and reach the
Full
arms
breath out. Let the hands reach up overhead.
straight up.
Go ahead, lift the torso up, letting the hands reach towards the front of your space and come to boat pose.
There you go.
So maybe the soles of the feet are on the
You
earth.
left the feet on the earth.
Maybe the knees are bent. Maybe the hands are underneath, clasping the back of the thighs, or maybe you choose to straighten the legs. See if you can open the chest wherever you are. Pulling those shoulder blades towards each other and down the spine.
Gently down the stream. Stay right here. Keep breathing.
Take one more full breath in.
One more big boat.
Feet come back to the
Lower
earth.
the feet to the earth. You're now going to take that right.
Now go ahead from your feet coming back to the earth. Place your hands behind you.
Hands behind you.
You're going to make a figure four. Making a figure four, activate that right foot. Right ankle is on top of that left thigh. And as you're here, see if you can gently push that right thigh towards the front of your space. Just a gentle hip opener.
What's next is going to be three-legged table. When you're ready, lift the hips.
From here, reverse your fingers so the fingers point towards the front of your space, and then lift your hips.
See, we take that.
Come into that three-legged table. See if you can lift that right hip just a little bit higher. One more breath in. Lower the hips back to the earth. Go ahead, unbind the feet.
Down to the earth.
Now, left ankle
Go ahead and extend
on top of the left thigh.
Come into Lord of the Fishes. So this one. You do. So extend the left leg. You're going to take your right foot over. Put your foot all the way on the ground. Yeah. Yep. Now you're going to take your.
So from here, we're going to come to a seated twist.
Yep.
As you come to this seated twist, your left leg extends towards the front of the space. Your right foot comes over that left leg, and the left inside of the elbow comes around that right leg, and you open the chest over to the right.
Go ahead and bend the left knee. You're going to come from double pigeon. Come to
now from here, I want you to go ahead. I want you to bring that left heel towards the right hip.
They should be like Lincoln logs, so they just stack one on top of the other.
Stacking the legs on top of each other as if they're Lincoln logs.
You're coming to cow face.
Coming to double pigeon. And just know that this can be a lot. So notice the sensation. Find the right space to be where you don't have pain and pinching. Just sensation.
You can stay right here.
You can even use a block to support the knee. It's not about getting the knee all the way down to the foot. It takes time. Go ahead, unbind the feet. Come back to sit with both feet on the earth. Now you're going to take that left ankle. You're going to place it on top of the right thigh. Go ahead, flex that foot. We're coming to that figure 4 on this side, just beginning to open up the hips. Fingers can point towards the back of your space, or maybe it's towards the outside of your mat. Either one works.
It can be either way, whatever's most comfortable. And he says that too. Your fingers can be out.
Now go ahead, reverse your fingers so they're pointing towards the front of the space or the outside. Lift your hips up, coming to that 3-legged table. Gaze can be towards your feet, or if you'd like, it's straight up at the ceiling. No need to push the neck or to extend the front of the neck all the way so you're looking at the back of the room. Today, just let it be up. Lower the hips back to the earth.
So take that right. Yep.
Option here to have that right leg straight and left foot come over as you twist over to the left side. Or you can do as Janelle has done, which is the variation of this seated twist, full variation, where that right heel comes towards the left glute and that left foot comes over.
At all.
Go ahead, come back to center, setting up for double pigeon on this side.
Now from here, you're going to pull that right heel.
Maybe you stack blocks to support the left leg, the left knee. You're welcome to stay right here, or maybe you choose to begin to let yourself walk the hands forward.
See if you can lengthen the spine just a little bit. Yeah.
If you walk the hands forward, go ahead and begin to walk back, letting the torso lengthen, crown of the head towards the ceiling. Go ahead and extend both feet towards the front of the mat, coming to staff pose. Find a little length in the spine and then reaching forward. Maybe your hands touch your toes. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're on your shins today. Maybe they're on your thighs. Let that chest reach forward. Keep that nice long spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your next inhale, come all the way back up. From here, we're going to set up for fish pose. So before we come into fish pose, you're going to place your hands onto the mat, fingers face forward, lift your hips. Legs are long. And then lower the hips down to the earth. Now, variations of fish pose, you could take your fingertips and tuck them underneath. Maybe you take that block and you place that block in between your shoulder blades, come all the way down.
while saying, you can do, you can do waterfall if you want. Bring that underneath your hips. Nope. Then from here, lift the legs straight up.
Coming into waterfall pose.
So go ahead, bring the soles
You're going to
together.
place that block underneath your seat. Lift your legs straight up into the air.
Come to your shoulder stand.
Or if you'd like,
Walk your elbows
more active inversion today, you can do shoulder stand. So shoulder stand. You're going to lift the hips off of the earth. Let the feet extend up towards the heavens. Everything about this pose is active. So lower belly pulls in. You feel a lifting coming up. See if you can bring those elbows in towards each other.
Almost.
And after 5 breaths, bring the feet over your head coming into plow pose, still supporting the lower back, still supporting the torso. Taking a few breaths here, then go ahead, bend the knees, bringing the knees alongside the ears for what's called deaf man's pose.
Man's pose. Stay here.
And then slowly unroll, one vertebrae at a time. Find some length in a full body stretch.
Take a breath in. You're going to do fish pose next. Breath out.
Take a deep breath in.
Breath in.
Open mouth, let it go. From here, we'll set up for that fish pose. So you're going to bring your fingertips underneath your seat ever so slightly, opening up the chest. Option here to use that block, placing it vertical between the shoulder blades, maybe another block underneath your head.
All we have left is supine twist. Go ahead, lower yourself all the way
And then
down.
slowly lower all the way down, removing any blocks, removing any props.
Go ahead,
From here, hug your right knee in towards your chest. Take that right knee over the body, coming into a supine twist. And variations here might include both knees into the chest, going over to the right side. It might mean that you straighten the top leg. Gaze can be up or over to the side. Go ahead and come back to center. We'll do the opposite side. So if you did one leg into the chest, go ahead, straighten the opposite side, arms out to a T. Gaze can be up or it can be over towards the opposite fingers.
I'll just have you lie down, yeah, and then I can just hold that. 4.
Letting the body slow.
5. Come back to hugging the knees into
Hug the knees back and towards the chest. Lower the feet to the earth. Extend your heels to the front corners of the mat. Breathe in.
Palms face up. Take a deep breath in.
And breathe out. All the work has been put in.